You are listening to Peak One Sports.
Okay.
Welcome to the Bungalow Hockey Show. Take two. My wife already called. Everybody already called. We can't be interrupted this time. Happy Halloween, Daniel.
Well, you say we can't be interrupted. I mean, we could be interrupted. Happy Halloween, Cole.
Happy Halloween.
Good to
I
see
love
you,
your
brother.
Jack Skellington jersey.
Yeah.
He's the jersey man, people. He's got a jersey for every occasion.
Sure do.
And I mentioned to him, I'm also wearing a Halloween jersey because it's a fucking horror show.
It's, I mean, you said it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, the more you say it, it's kind of like, all right, it's kind of funny.
This is the first fresh Sharks jersey I've ordered since the Stanley Cup appearance with the patch and everything.
Really?
Because I got that jersey, and I'm like, well, this one's special, so I gotta rock this one for a couple years. Because I'm a big I gotta wear the same jersey all the I'm just hockey guys. We're just a little superstitious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I have this thing, and it's funny, I look like a psycho. I was telling you how the lady at my shower door supplier is a Sharks fan now. She went to her first game. So I was explaining to her, I'm like, well, now that you're a fan, like if you watch the games at home, you have to get your routine down because if they win, you better do the same shit the next game. Otherwise, it's your fault if they lose. So I was explaining, I got my jersey. I put it on at the beginning of the period. In between periods, I take it off in case I have to go to the bathroom and do all my stuff. And I hang it over the chair. And then when the second period starts, I put it back on. And then if they win, I hang it over the same chair that it was on since the last game. But if they lose, I got to put it over a different chair.
Yeah. Oh, you're running out of chairs.
I'm running out of fucking chairs. I think I'm already got around and I'm back at the beginning again.
Maybe you got to start hanging them from hooks in the ceiling or something.
Jesus, I don't know, man. But anyways, yeah, fresh jersey. Haven't had one with the new color scheme.
It really is pretty. I do like the way that those ones look.
And I do like the Finn logo.
Yeah. Modernized.
It doesn't matter. They suck. They're still my team, so I'm still gonna rep it to the grave. I'm gonna have a teal colored casket.
Hey, there you go.
My brother-in-law, hardcore Raiders dude. He had the Raiders color. We got him the Raiders casket, dude, when he died, dude.
Really?
So he did. He had the silver and black casket, just like you wanted.
That's kind of cool.
So I'm going down in teal, baby. Or actually, I'll just get a Viking burial. You just bury me in the ocean and let the sharks eat me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just dump me out there. Just make a chum bucket out of me. And just throw me out, ladle me out for the sharks in the bay.
Out. Holy
just go out to the bay and ladle me out there. All right. God damn it.
We're going to ladle Cole in the bay.
We are.
Wow.
Special teal colored chum bucket.
And this is the Halloween episode.
It is, dude. It wasn't even meaning it that way, but we're morbid here on Halloween on the Bungalow Hockey Show. Thanks for watching today's episode. As all episodes are brought to you by Betalytics. Go to Betalytics.com. Promo code PEAK1, get 25% off. Make smarter bets. Don't bet with your gut. Bet with technology and the future.
We love Betalytics.
With Betalytics. We're also brought to you by League Swipe. They're still hanging on. Fantasy leagues.
Still hanging on.
Fantasy leagues are up and running. We're going. I'm trying, Daniel, with the hockey, and I got injuries. I've got... I came out and I won my first game, and then I've just been on a losing streak ever since, but it's okay. It's a long season.
I was beating my cousin last week. That sounded way worse than it was supposed to be.
It's the Halloween episode.
Cousin Alex plays in our league, and I was playing him, and I was winning.
I was beating his team.
Yes, I was beating his team for the first couple of days of the week, and then got really close on Friday, and then on Saturday he overtook me, and I'm like, I can beat him on Sunday. He freaking stomped me into the ground. It was 9-5, and I was like, I was like, okay, well, yeah, you did win last year.
I think I got beat 11-3 last week.
Did you really?
Don't worry, you're doing fine. But yeah, if you're a fantasy league commissioner and it's getting hectic for you and you need some help, go to League Swipe. Tell them Peak One sent you. See what kind of tools they can you can utilize their tools to help you out, make your life a lot easier. Also go to bonfire.com/store/Peak1Sports and get all your official Peak One Sports Network merch. We got shirts for all the shows. It's the World Series, so you can get that Mr. and Mr. October shirt, because me and Joey, we know ball. We're big seam heads.
Seam heads, that's what they call them now?
We're mostly just playoff experts, so you can also get the official playoff expert shirt there. It won't be a sweep, so don't get the Sweep Daddy shirt.
Maybe we need to do like a Puck Daddies.
We gotta do something,
or armchair quarterback or something like that. Right?
Rubber bum. We're a couple rubber bums, dude. Yeah. We know ball, we know puck, we know rubber. Or you can get the Pair of Fists with Skates official Bungalow Hockey Show shirt and all the other.
Can't wait to get mine.
Official Peak One Sports Network. I think I'm gonna get the now that it's cold outside, I'm gonna get a hoodie. I'm gonna get
That's a good idea.
Pair of Fist with Skates hoodie.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, and also disclaimer to everybody out there: if you go on the store and you see a design you like, but you want it in a hoodie, a lot of them I just put it up there as T-shirts because that's what most people buy is T-shirts, you know what I mean? But I can put these logos on any of the merchandise that they offer on Bonfire, which is hoodies, pullovers, onesies for your baby, coffee cups, all kinds of stuff, tank tops, whatever you want. If you don't see it, hit the DMs. Remember, follow us on social media so you can talk to us and tell us how we can be better. And if you want that Pair of Fists with Skates design and you want it on a sweet tank top to show off your guns, just hit the DMs, let me know. I'll put it up there.
Sun's out, guns out. That's
right, buddy. Epic Hockey.
Epic Hockey.
Himself is here.
I'll make this one quick. It's best.
It gets after a while. You do the ads enough times, you're just like,
yeah,
just go, just go there.
Honestly, EpicHockey.com, Epic Hockey on Instagram, Epic Hockey on Twitter, Epic Hockey on Facebook.
Everywhere.
We make really, really, really high quality stuff for prices that people can actually afford.
Mm-hmm. And if you're in the Central Valley area and you're looking to learn how to play hockey, Epic is sponsoring and hosting a clinic on Saturdays at Oak Park Ice Arena in Stockton, California. I got a load of shit from my goaltender Kana for not showing up last week.
Yeah, you didn't get a load of shit from me yet, but
anytime I can't show up, I just throw out the practice. You talking about practice? I could barely make it one game a week. I practice. Anyways,
it's
one
of
these
days. Fun, though.
It's skating is fun. Hockey is fun. It's all fun. So yeah, if you're in the Central Valley area and you can make it out there, I suggest you go. You'll see Daniel's lovely mug out there putting you through some drills and all this stuff.
You'll hate me after it's done, but you still got to pay me.
Yeah. Shank It Golf, our brand new sponsor. Go to shankitgolf.com and enter promo code PEAK1 and get 15% off your order. They've got all kinds of cool stuff. It's not your normal just drab run-of-the-mill hockey. God, I got hockey on the brain. Golf apparel and accessories. They've got cool hats. They've got cool polos. I believe they have the awesome polo cut-off sleeve shirt.
There you go.
Which, like, when I was younger, I used to golf a lot when I was younger. Because like my dad's a big avid golfer, and when I was young, I would golf with him until I realized that it wasn't that fun because they're just a bunch of angry old dudes.
Well, I mean, it's fun now that you can drink, but
well, yeah, and like when I was younger, and I just watched my dad's buddy John like shank a ball with a new $500 wedge and then throw it in a tree and then break it trying to get it down with his other club, and it wasn't fun. And then, towards the end of high school when people, we were getting older and some of my friends, we'd go out and we'd just mostly be just doing donuts and golf carts and stuff like that. And, but
as you do
those days, anytime I'd get invited to play a golf tournament and you'd have to wear a polo, I was the degenerate who would say, yeah, I'll wear a polo, but I'll cut the sleeves off. I'd go get like a Tommy Hilfiger from Marshall's.
Where did you play? Bushwood?
Well, there was like a couple church sponsored tournaments at Manteca Golf Course where they wanted you to dress appropriately or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'll wear a polo. Had that red, white, and blue striped Tommy Hilfiger with the sleeves cut off.
Oh my God,
that's me.
Of course you were that guy.
Of course, but I don't have to cut them off anymore because I can go to Shank It Golf, and for 15% off, I can get one pre-cut.
And it's gonna look good if it comes from Shank It Golf. When you do it, it looks not great.
Yeah. Well, you get the cool strings hanging down, from whatever. Anyways,
cool was a word choice.
That's all the sponsors. I lied last week and I said I wasn't gonna bring up Frozen Friends anymore, but we got to do a little bit of a review because it happened.
It was fun.
It was cool, man. 102 goals scored in one night. As we said, hockey's not football. So it takes a little bit more finesse to go back and forth.
There were some kinks, and I like the fact that Kevin Weeks was on the show.
Kevin Weeks.
He made it fun. He made it light. It was good.
I like their set. You know, they had like almost like a little living room set up.
Yeah.
And like, you know, had all the games
John
on.
Butchercross came in with a giant cup of coffee.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was about as good as you could have asked for the kickoff of that thing. So hopefully they'll bring it back. Hopefully they'll set up another date soon.
I think it'd be really, really cool. It'd be stupid to not do it, but the NHL has been done before.
It is, so. But you know what? I was expecting to hear a bunch of negative stuff about it because, you know, like I said, if you were tuning in expecting to see something like Red Zone, you're dumb because hockey's not football and you can't do it the same way. And there was way more games going on at the same time than there is during Red Zone. Red Zone, you got like 5-6 games going on at once or whatever. So, but it was good. It was great. It was it's just how many times can they get so many games in one night? I think maybe it would be a little more focused if on a regular night when there's 10 games happening or 8 games happening.
If they decided to do this long term and they wanted to do something like, you know, next year and they kind of like planned, okay, every Tuesday is like the Red Zone day. So you get like maybe 2 or 3 teams on Monday and maybe like, you know, only 4 so many teams on or games at least on like Sunday, you know, like kind of like building up to the Tuesday type thing and then running on Tuesday, which, you know, like that'd be kind of fun, but then, you know, then your Wednesdays are light, then your Thursdays might be light. So
it's all a scheduling thing, and it's not like they obviously built this one day around the Frozen Frenzy. So this season, and maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe it'll be a little sporadic, but maybe hopefully next season they kind of schedule out. It doesn't have to be every week, but schedule out a few weeks during the season.
But it'd be really, really cool. I mean, like with football, it makes sense. You play like, you know, basically everybody plays on the same day.
Right.
You know, and it's just a once a week. But hockey, you play like every other day. So it's a little trickier.
100%. But I think it was good. For a first time out, it was good.
Yeah.
Hey, good news. The league listened to us, Daniel. They listened. They must have listened to this show.
It was exactly this show and nothing else that happened.
100%.
It was just
because it almost happened immediately after we aired the show.
Yeah, like as soon as the show went live, it was like, all right, this is already out of date.
They were like, shit, Bungalow hockey show's on to us. And the NHL reverses its ban on the
Cole
on the
and Daniel's
tape.
calling our shit.
They did. They called it. We called them out, and they listened. But most likely they listen to other people and
probably
the Arizona Coyotes
like every other show that's talking about it and
players.
saying how stupid it was.
Not all of them, because we even got a comment about I think we should stick to regular nights. I like seeing my team in their colors, not in these themed jerseys.
Did somebody actually put that?
Oh,
I didn't even.
I can't remember if it was on TikTok or something, because I posted a clip of us talking about that, you know, and I can't remember what platform it was on. But there's always a dissenter out there. He was respectful. He wasn't like these football guys who call me delusional all the time, but he was respectful about it. But still, you're wrong. What does it matter? Like, warm-ups. It's warm-ups.
I mean, it's warm-ups, and then like we even talked about it, is like they do so much good for the community, right?
Yeah,
of
course.
It's like, you know, you want to see your team in their colors. That's fine. You're gonna see them in their colors.
And like, I'm not one to like engage with trolls online, and I'm not calling this guy a troll, but like it would have turned into a troll fest if I would have responded, because
trolls are not respectful.
The only reason that you don't like it is because of the Pride Night. If we were just talking about support the Armed Forces Night, nobody'd have a fucking problem with it. And here's my thing: breast
cancer awareness.
Let me get a little sanctimonious on you for a second, because I mean, and these views are my views alone. I won't attach them to Daniel or Peak One Sports Network or anything.
If I agree, I'll tell you.
If you have a problem with homosexuality in saying that, well, it's a choice, which if you really, I mean, it's really not. But here's the thing. Joining the fucking military is a choice too.
Sure is.
And we support the hell out of them.
Sure is.
You know what I mean? If you want to get down and, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get down to brass tacks, when we're comparing 1-to-1, the people who would support a military night wouldn't support a gay night, and the people who blah blah blah. If you want to say one's a choice, they're both. It's all a choice, whatever, and it's a choice for the players to support.
And then I'll do you one better. If you say that being homosexual of any kind is not a choice, well, neither is cancer or breast cancer.
Exactly.
And now we don't. And now we don't have the breast cancer night either. So it's like
it's what I'm saying. So I respect your opinion in saying that I don't like the theme nights. I want to see my team in their colors. It's like you get to see them in their colors for 60 minutes. For the 15 minutes that they're skating around in circles and talking to people behind the glass and throwing pucks over the glass and having and out there stretching.
And guess what? There's 82 games in a season. That's a lot of games.
But I would like to see that poll of like, so which ones do you are you okay with and which ones are you not? And I would venture to say that everyone would get a check yes, except for the Pride Night for whatever reason. For anybody who says that they agree with the ban, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because the only reason you agree, because nobody's going to come out and say, ban the Armed Forces Night, ban it. Ban Cancer Night. And
to be very fair, I don't think there are many people out there that are saying ban the nights. I think the NHL overcorrected.
Of course. That's what we said last week. It's like
now they're fixing.
We're in a world of pendulum swings, not it's got to go one way, it's got to go the other way.
We can't find the happy medium until we've swung both ways at least.
We've said our piece on it. We don't need to talk about it anymore. And I do appreciate the comments, so keep them coming, whatever they may be.
And then we'll talk about you on the
of course.
online,
I didn't say your handle, so it's okay. But hey,
you know who you are.
Yeah,
we saw you.
But also, hey, shout out to Gary Bettman for listening to the show. Another thing we talked about last week, Joe Thornton must have heard us talking about him coming back because he had to make a point of putting out a video saying, "Hey, listen, motherfuckers, I'm not playing anymore."
He's like, "No, I'm retired. Stop it."
We did mention it last week because there was some rumor mill stuff. There was some, because he never officially made an announcement whether he was retired or not, and he's one of those guys where you could have seen Joe Thornton being one of those guys playing in the KHL till he's 102 or whatever, just because he wants to keep playing. You know?
Him and Yager, right? It's like
that's what I'm saying. You could see him be in a Yager position of well, I'm just going to buy a minor league team and just play on it till I'm 100. But
Tomas Plekanec is still playing too, and he's playing on Yager's team. In where is that?
Czech Republic Czech Republic doesn't exist anymore.
Czechia now.
Yeah. So. We should catch a flight and go see one of those games.
Ooh, I'm so down.
We'll bill Peak One for it. It'll be a business trip.
You guys are good with that, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Joe Thornton, he put it out all over social media. This beautiful hat, shirtless, walking around his little farm, saying, "Hey, I'm living the life right now." So
I saw that, and the first thing that popped in my head was, you can bleep this, legend.
See, you can cuss on the show. I enjoy putting the actual beeps in.
Okay,
afterwards.
So fucking legend.
Yeah, dude.
He's such a fucking legend.
He's just one of those guys that just not only was he a fantastic hockey player, but he was a fantastic personality for the sport.
Oh, he was great.
Played for two of the most tenured teams, drafted by Boston, played a season for Toronto, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Obviously spent most of his time the Sharks, and then finished it off in Florida. But
you know what I'd love to see, because he didn't play all last year.
No.
So this year, since he's officially retired, this will be his second season of non-active play.
Right.
So technically, I think for the Hall of Fame, next year is his first year of eligibility, and I think Patrick Marleau is right about the same.
Should be about the same, yeah.
So I think it'd be really, really cool, because the Ducks did this. Timu and Paul Kariya went in at the same time. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be really cool to
would be legit.
To see Joe and Patty go in at the same time.
That would bring a tear to my eye. And because of his personality, I would like to see him get in the booth somewhere or get some kind of analyst job, because he seems like
TNT would love this guy.
Yeah, or he could start the next Spit and Chicklets. He's got one of those personalities where he could do a podcast.
Honestly,
or maybe he starts getting in on one of those podcasts, doing like guest spots here and there and stuff.
Colby Armstrong's in on Spit and Chicklets. Yeah, anyway.
And actually, those guys bring out some of the best personalities that you didn't know were personalities.
Honestly,
you know what I mean?
Let's be real. Hey, Jumbo, don't go to them. We got a show right here.
Oh, I'm gonna message him.
We'd love to have you.
Oh, dude, this is a clip that is going. I'm tagging Jumbo in it. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? We're not, because he doesn't really have social media. Because if you noticed, he posted this on the Shark social media and shit like that. Because I tried to tag him last time we talked about him, and it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Jumbo, I will find you.
That sounds a little creepy.
And I will ask you to be on this show. I don't know if you know this, but during COVID, when I was still doing the Bungalow Chat show, I did have Randy Hahn on my show.
I did know this.
So
yeah.
I realized that was COVID because, like I was telling Paris the other day, I was like, shit, now we're actually doing a hockey show. I need to reach out to old Rand Man. She's like, it's not COVID anymore. He's busy.
Well, I mean,
I was like, very true.
well, hold on. I mean, the Sharks have games or days when they're like 3 games off. Like, just hit them up for the middle of the week.
And, you know, that's, I mean, in the age of Zoom, that's how I got him on last time because he was able to put the fake living room behind him and nobody could see where he was. But, I'll start. I need to start. I haven't reached out to many people lately to do guest spots. We need to do that now that we have a hockey show. But congratulations on a fantastic career, Joe Thornton.
Absolutely.
You better be a first balloter. Otherwise,
he's absolutely a first ballot.
There's.
I don't care if he never won a cup. He is by far one of the
guys
best
who never won a
center
cup.
playmaker players of all time.
Big time, and like 530 something games with Boston, 1,500 something games with San Jose.
Just insane. He had a second career in San Jose.
Right, it's crazy. And like you forget, like when I saw a graphic of like the games he played with each team or whatever, and like when I saw the 500 something with Boston, I was like, I felt like we traded for him like in his 3rd year. Yeah. But it's nope. He was 500 games in, dude.
He had a full career in Boston.
And that's obviously it wouldn't have been such a blockbuster trade if he didn't already have a fantastic career going. But when you think about how long he was in San Jose, you're just like, you feel like you got him when he was just a youngster. And it's like, no, he was already 500 games in.
But you know what's crazy about him too is, I mean, he started early, right? But I mean, like, but in Boston, he was very good, but he wasn't a world beater.
No, he was at that point where like it kind of like is he going to take the next step or is he going to kind of stay where he's at? Because if he'd stayed where he was at, he would have had a long career still,
and it's still a fantastic career, and he would have been like, you know, anybody's second line center.
Right, but then he went to San Jose, and that first season with Jonathan Chichu, and he literally put Jonathan Chichu on the map, dude.
Want to know what's funny? So for Epic, this last weekend, I went to San Jose because I'm talking to the Junior Ducks about them being a sponsor for Epic and all this kind of thing. So there's a whole thing, and I'm trying to like get them to use sticks and all this kind of thing. And they were playing the Sharks, and guess who their coach is? Who? Jonathan Chichu.
Nice.
So I got to meet Jonathan Chichu.
Hell yeah,
over the weekend, and I gave his kid a stick, and I'm like, here, check it out.
He's a sweet guy, that Jonathan Chichu.
He's so freaking cool.
And like when Joe talk about a guy. I mean, he won the fucking Rocket Richard Trophy.
Yeah.
Obviously not just because of Joe Thornton, but if you hadn't got those passes from a guy like Joe Thornton, I don't think he's winning the Rocket Richard Trophy.
Probably not, but I mean, like, and not to say that Chichu was a bad player.
No, not at all. Obviously, he won the Richard, so it's like you don't have to win the Richard, and you're still a good fucking goal scorer. Obviously,
I don't know if he would have won the Rocket, but
took him to the net.
But like, man, it
birthed the Chichu train.
That's right.
They had the train whistles at the tank and stuff. Good times. Better than now. So yeah. Anyways, congratulations, Joe Thornton.
Good job, Jimbo.
Some more controversy.
Yeah. So, and there's even more coming out about the Senators. I don't think you know about yet.
For those of you who don't know, ShanePinto has been suspended, whatever, for 41 games for gambling on the sport of hockey. My one little note of irony, because obviously, you know, I'm a sports bettor. I like it. Sometimes it just adds a little bit more to the watching the game.
It's always fun.
I like it on you know, certain sports. I don't like it with my hockey because I'm already too intense in general about hockey. I like it for like a football where like I don't really care that it helps me care more. You know what I mean? In a world where like all the teams have their on-helmet, on-jersey sponsors now.
Yeah.
The Ottawa Senators have a betting sponsor on their jersey.
They sure do.
So just add a little dash of irony to this ban, to these rules. The NFL has started to kind of retool their punishments for and the rules on
their
gambling.
Punishments are also very clear.
100%.
And
the NHL,
hockey, not so much.
They have literally, the NHL has not elaborated on what he actually did, what he actually bet on, what, like, all the details to this suspension and this punishment and what he actually did have not been brought for the rest of us to see what exactly happened. What were you going to say about
so there's a couple things. So from what I'm hearing about all of this from the community and whatnot is that himself did not bet on these things.
He had like a bookie or something?
He essentially, what he did was he has an account, a legal account on betting sites, a couple of betting sites, that kind of thing. And he gave his username and password
to somebody else.
Which, could be a friend, could be a relative, could be whatever.
But still not him placing the bets.
But it's not him placing bets, which is illegal. Because most of these betting sites, they have a deal which says, like,
nobody else can
your
bet for
code
you.
is your code, your password is your password. If you give it to somebody else, then it's going to void everything. So
if we find out, kind of.
So from what I heard of, he did not bet on hockey, which is legal. NHL players can bet on other sports, not hockey, which makes sense, right? Because you play in the league, right? Like you shouldn't have that kind of an advantage when you're going to place your bets. So yeah, you shouldn't bet on hockey games.
100%.
I guess he probably bet on like a football game or a basketball game. Who knows? But the way that they found out about this, ShanePinto was in Ottawa. He's from New York, but he's in Ottawa practicing, getting ready, that kind of thing. Like at training camp. And this is actually how far back it goes. It was at training camp.
Right.
He was counted to be placing bets during that time from New York.
Okay.
So it was somebody that he knew.
It was somebody else.
It was basically like he just said, like, hey, I can't place a bet from Canada because, like, it's not going to, it doesn't work here in this area. Can you place the bet for me? Right. And that's illegal.
Sure.
So.
But illegal to the betting site and betting in general, not necessarily legal to the NHL because are the NHL betting rules for players clear? Can they just not bet, period?
Oh no, it's so unclear. It's not even funny. So like basically this whole thing happens, and the reason that it's such a freaking harsh ban on him is 41 is half a season. The reason it's so harsh is because they're making an example of him, saying
he's the first one really to get he's the Calvin Ridley of
because you think about it, and he's suspended essentially for 41 games for half a season. Take somebody giving a monstrous headshot to somebody, like
gets 4 games, like Rasmus,
like Rasmus, right? So Rasmus,
Patrick Laine is still not donating any money because he's out, and Rasmus is playing again.
Rasmus is out 4 games for a violent headshot.
Right.
Pinto's out 41 for
maybe not even betting on hockey.
Yeah,
because it's unclear.
Definitely not betting for hockey.
See, and that's the thing.
That's what we know is he definitely.
I can get Bovada or whatever the betting website having an issue and taking issue with him having someone else bet for him. Yeah. But what the fuck does the NHL give a shit if he's not betting on hockey?
So that's the thing, is the NHL doesn't want this kind of thing happening and affecting the money that they make from the betting sites, because the betting sites could drop them if they
gotta save that sponsor that's on the Ottawa jersey.
But that's what I'm saying.
But you gotta kick this guy out for half a season.
The NHL wants their money, right? So if you're gonna give a headshot to somebody,
it doesn't affect the bottom line.
It doesn't affect the bottom line. If ShanePinto goes and says, I'm gonna kind of like screw, like, game the system a little bit and try to, like maybe make the NHL look bad in the betting world site and whatnot, they're going to be like, well, now you're screwing with our bottom line. This is half a season.
And it's interesting. I don't think anybody would, talking about like affecting the way it looks for the NHL and the betting sites and the sponsorships, like nobody would even have known if the NHL didn't even make a big deal out of it.
No, nobody would have known, but the betting sites would have known.
Sure, but they're still making money because he probably didn't win those fucking. Nobody wins in the long run.
I mean, he's from New York, so he's probably a Giants or a Jets fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Good luck.
So it's very cloudy still, but it doesn't matter how cloudy it is. Old Shane ain't playing for half a season. Apparently.
Now, there's one more thing that's going on with Ottawa that I don't think you've heard about yet. You remember? I think it was 2 seasons ago. The Vegas Golden Knights tried to trade Evgeny Dadonov
Oh yeah, I did see this. They're about to get punished because they put the kibosh on that thing, right?
So they were trying to trade the Vegas Golden Knights were trying to trade Evgeny Dadonov to the Anaheim Ducks during the trade deadline. The Anaheim Ducks were on Dadonov's no trade list.
Okay.
The trade went through, and then the agent and the player had to go to the Knights and say, "No, Anaheim's on my no trade. I'm not going there."
Right.
And the NHL had to look into it. The Knights were saying, like, there's no trade list. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, the reason the Knights did it without even thinking about it was because the Senators, who they got Dadonov from, did not specify that he had a no trade clause. Or, well, it was like a limited no move, I guess, right? So the Senators now are being investigated by the NHL, and the current Senators, which, remember, the Senators just got a new owner.
Right.
Their former owner, Eugene Melnyk,
stuff.
He finally passed from terminal illness. Now, everybody's kind of going like, okay, so why would the current regime of the Senators be on the hook for this when it's Melnyk's problem, and all this kind of thing? But essentially, when the Senators traded Dadonov to Vegas, they never said, yeah, the guy's got a no move.
Interesting. I wonder, yeah.
So Vegas is trying to, basically Vegas is saying, like, there's a lot of talk about Vegas, like they're ruthless, they don't care, if you're not performing, you're fucking out, you know what I mean? Like they're a ruthless organization that doesn't really care about their players, that kind of thing. So when this whole thing happened, everybody was blaming them. It's like, oh, Vegas being Vegas, right? They don't care about the guy's no move, right? It's like they're like, no, we need to make sure you guys know we didn't know,
right?
Like we weren't
because
told.
All this stuff like it results in fines and all kinds of crazy sanctions and things when you do bad business deals in sports.
And from what it seems
Ottawa just
like,
seems a little sloppy,
a little bit. And I think at the time Pierre Dorian is still a GM, and Pierre Dorian was the GM then. I don't think he had any help out there. Like I think he was just overwhelmed, which makes sense. But then so now I guess the NHL is talking about docking draft picks for
turmoil
for the Senators. And what did I say in the season previews?
They have their cap issues.
They have their cap issues. Their GM in front office is not where it should be. Their ownership is in turmoil.
Look at that. What did I
say about the Senators this whole time?
Oh man, ShanePinto, he just needs to go to Vegas. They like gambling there.
I mean,
well,
I bet this
shout out
to
ShanePinto. You got some time off if you want to do a guest spot on the Bungalow Hockey Show.
Hey, talk to us about Eugene Melnyk. That'd be
That's what
great.
I'm saying. Maybe I'll at Old Pinto in this one. All right. On a sad note, I talked about this a little bit yesterday on the Bungalow Sports Show.
So tragic.
Huge tragedy in the world of hockey. Former Pittsburgh Penguins player Adam Johnson currently was playing in the British Hockey League, the BHL, for the Nottingham Panthers.
Nottingham Panthers, yep.
Just a tragic, classic hockey scrum. People, bodies flying everywhere. You watch the video, it's a little fuzzy looking.
I don't know.
So yeah, well, let's get into the ins and outs. Yesterday, I went more on the tragedy side because obviously, in the end, no matter what anybody thinks about what actually happened, a man died. It caused me to have to buy a neck protector because my wife's biggest fear is me getting my throat cut by an ice skate for the entirety of my hockey playing career.
Hey.
And it's one of those things when you play hockey, you don't really think about it because like you are rarely in position to have someone step on your neck.
And also it's a very rare situation. Like the last time we saw this was
it never to this extent, but it has happened, but it looks bad, not that threatening in the long run. This was just a crazy,
probably like every 10 years,
crazy turn of events.
Pretty bad.
And he basically, he died in the hospital, died from his wounds.
Blood loss.
Obviously,
if you've seen the video, the
intense.
Blood loss is insane. Immediately,
it's basically hit that carotid. And it's a done deal. So yeah, obviously hearts go out to everybody surrounding.
Our thoughts and prayers to his family and his
Adam
friends.
Johnson. This has the BAHL has already announced that they're mandatory neck protectors next season.
Smart move.
Which in the most leagues outside of the NHL, they already have mandatory cages, mandatory face shields, a lot of different protective
Wrist
stuff.
guard, shot blockers on the skates.
Right.
That
So,
kind of thing,
once you get to the big show, I guess, do what you want. We're talking about a sport where they grandfathered guys not wearing helmets for a long time. So if personal, we're big on personal freedom on this show, talking about theme night. So I guess if you want to go out there without a fucking helmet on until your career's over.
See, that's the thing, is it's almost like you have to protect hockey players from themselves,
right?
Because I don't wear a visor.
You and I have talked about that before.
You know what I mean?
I just recently went away from the cage and have a visor. I don't wear a fucking mouth guard. I don't wear shoulder pads. I wear a padded shirt.
And I mean, we play in a league that's not very high impact.
You and I are probably the least worried about falling down and having someone step on our necks in the dirt league, because
I mean,
skating strength wise, we're mostly looking out to not fuck other people up.
I mean, that or more, because then people are more out of control, right?
This is true. Yes, I just I'm in a league where if I run into someone too hard, I'm grabbing their bicep, trying to keep them from hitting the ground and apologizing before they hit the ground. So it's like, I get it, but accidents do happen, right? And as you get, obviously, in the pros, the game is more intense, it's faster. And so it's obviously a better safe than sorry type move. But also what I read this morning is that the British police are investigating,
as well they should, I'll be honest,
intentional. And so there's been a heated debate on the Loosey Goosey text thread. Few people, I watched the video, it never even occurred to me that it was intentional. It looked like it was looked really bad, and just kind of, when you're falling or when you're out of balance on ice skates, you don't necessarily have a lot of control over things. It looked like the guy who did, whose skate did the deed was trying to maybe sell a penalty and lost control. Some people in the thread are thinking that looked like he did that shit on purpose. A lot of non-hockey analyzers out there taking it looked intentional because, but as we just said, even in the dirt league, even in any league, when you're off balance, when there's a big scrum going on, there's bodies flying, you're not really controlling where your blade's going.
And you are skating on ice, right?
100%.
It's hard. It's hard to stay upright on ice.
You're playing a sport, then you have razor blade strapped to your feet on a block of ice.
Right.
So the video looks terrible. I'm not anybody who's calling me an idiot and saying, "Oh, it was totally intentional."
I'm not going to call you an idiot, but I am going to go on the other side of it and say I think it looked really intentional.
See, and that's the thing, and that's when you're looking at hockey events like this. Like, we've seen people get cut by skates before and have never even thought, "Oh shit, he did that on purpose."
Yeah.
Like, it was obviously unintentional. But this video looks really fucking bad.
Really bad. Now, and I will be the guy and say this, though. You have to look at the player who did it. You have to look at his history.
Oh,
right?
yeah, and that was also brought up in the thread of he's got the most PIMs in the league.
He's got the most PIMs in the league the last 2 years running. He is, by all accounts, a dirty player,
right?
As thought by the whole league and most people that play in it,
which is definitely playing into the narrative.
It's 100% playing into it. Maybe it shouldn't, but maybe it shouldn't.
Again, practice what you preach, right? You know what I mean? If this was totally unintentional and totally an accident, you can't expect people to not take your past into consideration when watching a video that looks really fucking bad from a couple angles.
Now, if this was a guy that led the league in scoring, right? Or if this was a guy, if this was a guy that was like a career defenseman that didn't really play much or didn't do. You don't say much about it.
Well, it's just like with any kind of injury-related suspension in any sport, whether it's football, hockey, any of these physical sports, where it's like you get a helmet to helmet and you're like, "Oh, that was a fucking accident." It's like, yeah, maybe that one was.
Right.
But you did this last game and the game before and the game before that, and you were suspended last year for it. And
there's a history.
You have to take that, and the NHL does that too. Like people get bigger suspensions if you do something, even if you're claiming this was an accident.
Well, unless you're Tom Wilson,
right? But you know, there's some guys out there that get harsher penalties for lesser things because of the history of their actions on the ice.
That's true.
So when you get a video like this type of, you know, looking at this guy in this kind of dark way would have happened if the video looked completely unintentional, right? Because of his past.
Yeah.
But you have a video where it looks real fucking bad.
But see, the thing is, when he goes in, it looks like he's going in almost for a hit,
right?
And then he kind of like falls backwards or whatever, and that's how it's, you know, that's how it's done. But from just the sheer mechanics of it alone,
right?
Looking at it going,
just that's what I mean. Like,
why would you put yourself in that? Why would you be there?
Right. When you've played hockey before, when you've been in those moments, it doesn't matter the level. When you get in moments where you're surrounded around the goaltender, whether it's yours or the other team, or there's a scrum, or there's a bunch of bodies, and there's people falling and flying all over the place.
Battle in the corner or something, you know, whatever.
You should do your best just to not fall over. But again, like I said, one of the comments was, I feel like he was trying to sell a penalty, you know what I mean? And then it got, but it's like,
I think he was trying to do that though. Like, they were skating by.
I know.
And he had a different guy at the time. The guy that did it had a different guy at the time, and then saw him coming and just went, what?
I know.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Like, it just doesn't look good. And I mean, and both of us, we play baseball, right? Like growing up, we played baseball. What's the first thing they tell you to do when you slide? Never slide with your cleats up.
Right.
Never slide with your cleats up.
If your cleats are up, it's on purpose. No matter what you say after the fact.
This dude decided to
skates up.
Like, if he went to go knee him,
right? Different.
He went kneeing with his foot straight up. Like,
right.
Like, how did you even get to that point? It looked doctored. The video looked doctored.
Right. It looked like something out of a movie, where they're like, you know, like it was a scene out of a totally unbelievable scene out of a shitty hockey movie.
It looked like something from Shoresy.
Right.
But it wasn't
you know what I mean?
at all. That was a real thing. And it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Wow. Like, we're obviously not playing the video on here. If you are morbid enough and you want to go see exactly what happened. It's out there.
I mean, it's starting to get taken down, but it's out there. If you want to see it, you can probably see it, but we're not playing it here.
No, it's just a complete tragedy no matter what the outcome of this is, but it will definitely take a darker turn if it comes out that, you know, because obviously the guy's never going to admit that it was intentional.
Well, I don't think he should for his own well-being, obviously.
Of course, but it's like, fuck, if it was, he deserves to be punished, but then it's like, how do you prove that?
Well, I don't think he ever plays another hockey game again.
No, they can't.
I don't think any league will ever have him back. I doubt he even plays men's league for the rest of his life.
No,
and honestly, I don't. For what it's worth, even if he was trying to hurt Johnson, I don't think he meant to kill the guy.
Of course. Well, that's what they say when like people in the chat were just like, they brought up the dirtiest player. I'm like, yeah, but that's a big step to homicide.
Yeah.
Getting a 5-minute major is a big step to homicide.
Is like if he has to, because now he has to live with this.
Yeah, that's my thing. So it's like, I don't know. Like, what are you thinking, dude? Do guys like that just see red and they just don't?
I guess, man. But I mean, like, if you're in that situation where you're looking to hurt somebody, you accidentally kill someone, like,
yeah,
not only like if you did by any means, like, and I mean, manslaughter is a charge you can be brought up on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like if you're going to go to jail.
We've had assault charges for certain players in the NHL. But it's like if swinging at guys with their stick and
if you're going to go to prison on manslaughter or anything, you're also going to need a lot of therapy to get. Oh yeah, no, this guy's fucked mentally for the rest of his life, because if it was intentional, he's the only one who knows that. Yeah. If it wasn't, he's still the only one who knows that. You know what I mean? And either way, a man is dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, aside from it all, you know what I mean? It's just a tragedy. But fuck, dude. Like I said, I went out and bought a neck protector just because, but I still got to look cool. Yeah. So like I was looking at them, and a lot of the hockey ones, they just look like neck braces and they look cumbersome. So I got a welder's Kevlar fabric one that just is like it's just like a piece of a turtleneck.
So I'm gonna, I didn't want to bring this up because I felt like it would be a shameless plug, but I do make those at Epic. So if you
have the neck protector,
I do have the neck protector.
Oh, I'm gonna get one.
And it's just a turtleneck. So I'll just bring you one.
Bring me one.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be a shameless plug.
It's not a shameless plug
this,
because it's a thing that needs to.
I do make
it's a thing that everybody needs to think about now because it does, like you said, it doesn't happen very often. Just period. People getting cut and having it just be incidental and not a big deal. It doesn't happen. Like people's fucking arms don't get cut. Like nothing gets cut that often.
The turtlenecks I have also have wrist protection. I don't mean to, but
this is an option now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think this is a lot of people are going to be, a lot of leagues especially are going to be looking at this going, like, okay, we need to mandate.
At this point, there's no
something.
there's no reason not, like, I'm still not putting on shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Because they're just uncomfortable.
Well, I mean,
but the neck protector is something.
But in our league, we don't hit.
Exactly.
We're not allowed to hit.
That's my thing. So, it's like if I'm falling, I'm landing on my elbow, and I wear elbow pads.
Exactly.
So but I'll definitely be protecting the old jugular from now on. Mm-hmm. So all right, we don't need to bring it down. Well, we're still gonna bring it down because our next segment is
very sad for him.
Sharks and Ducks. Oh shucks. It's like, and how do we even continue the show now?
I mean, yeah.
I'll be quick. Well, there's nothing to talk about.
Well, it's sad. It's sadness followed by happiness. So
no,
you can go.
I'm gonna go sadness.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's sadness followed by happiness.
Shucks. I lost it a little bit. I on the Bungalow Sports Show, because I refrained from talking about too much hockey on there because we have this show now, but I do have to let the people know if the Sharks still suck or not on there, and they definitely still suck. I lost my temper a little bit at the end of the segment yesterday, so there'll be a little clip coming out of that just because it wasn't intentional. It's just my emotions got the better of me, so I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen today because, these guys they're people too.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not trying. It's a team game. They're just not playing a good team game right now. The Sharks are currently 0-8-1.
0-8 fun. No. No.
Their last game against the Capitals on Sunday evening started with a goal at the 11-minute mark of the first period. Looking good.
Probably one of your best games all season.
And against a team that was very beatable right now. The Capitals aren't blowing anybody's hair back. Ovi's on a little bit of a slow start compared to the rest of his career. So it's like they had Darcy Kemper in net. So it was a very, especially after getting that early goal. Your boy had some high hopes of oh shit, maybe we can get off the schneid here.
Well, and you go.
But then comes the third period.
I was gonna say you go 2 periods, almost 3 full periods with that lead in.
And it's not like we can just let them tie it up and then let's just take it to OT, at least get a point out of it again.
Point, yeah.
Nah, we'll just let them get 2 real quick in the third, and then Cole will then angrily throw his jersey over a new chair in the house. So. Sharks still can't put it together. How you Ducks doing, Daniel? You know what I want to say, too, about being a Ducks fan on Halloween? They already got Halloween colors.
True. Black and orange.
That's what I'm saying. All right, go ahead. Bad. What do you got?
I want to touch on the Sharks one time. I had one question.
I'll allow it.
So after our pod last week, my brother-in-law, basically my best friend, he's a huge diehard Sharks fan, and he asked me, he's like, hey, so you think the problem is coaching? Because I said last week, I was just like, I think,
right,
maybe changing a coach would help because, but it just seems like they're lost. It seems like they don't really understand the system yet, and maybe that'll come with time, right?
Right.
And so I told him that. I was just like, yeah, I mean,
it's got to be something.
I mean, even if maybe the coach is going a little too hard on, system and structure, and you have to follow X, Y, and Z, and it just makes it harder for all the players to follow at once because hockey's a really fast game, and it's just the chemistry's not there yet. Maybe it's not flowing yet and whatnot. And he's just like, I completely disagree. I was like, oh. Okay, I'd like to know why.
That's the great about sports opinions.
He says it doesn't look like they trust each other yet.
Oh, I would agree with that.
And I don't think I ever really thought that was an option.
Right.
Really.
Well, at the beginning of this shit show so far of a season, that, because I'm a negative Nancy, of course I take the dark side as soon as they, the first 2 games.
As you do.
And then Chris, I've said that before, he always tries to drag me out of the dark into the light, and he's just like, hey, these 3/4 of you guys haven't played together before.
Yeah.
So not only are they still trying to figure out the coaching scheme and like their actual game plan, but they also don't know where each other's natural tendencies.
There's no chemistry involved.
We talked about Joe
yet.
Thornton and Jonathan Chichu. Jonathan Chichu run the Rocket Richard because Joe Thornton knew where he was going to be all the time and just could no look pass it to him. And Chichu did that crazy 1 foot falling down slap shot one-timer and scored 70 of them. So when you don't have that, it's hard.
Yeah.
Hockey's hard because when you have to look at every pass before you make it, that's a split second that gets that pass picked off, right?
And the second that you're looking where you're going to pass, then the defenseman knows, like, okay,
and
stick goes here to block that off.
When we're watching a game, when you're in the middle of a game, it's a lot harder to learn each other's tendencies in the moment. When you're the other team watching your opponents play, it's a lot easier to watch them and learn their tendencies.
Yep.
Even in something as low level as the Dirt League, third period, I'm picking off a lot more passes than I am in the first period because I see this particular player and I'm like, oh, every time he's come into the zone at this point, he's dumped it off this direction, and you can jump the pass.
And every single time it's just like, oh, here he comes with the toe drag. I just got to take his body.
This guy's going to try to toe drag, or this guy's going to shoot. He's not going to pass. Like those little things you catch on to halfway through a game, i.e. the Sharks losing in the third period because they are predictable in their shittiness.
And in the NHL, you also have a shitload of tape to watch and coaching and counter coaching,
right? And we've talked about their inability to chip it out of the zone when there are few times they are in the offensive zone. Instead of taking, at a time like this when you have no offensive pressure, it's excuse me,
easy now.
It's almost like stop trying to set up the play, just take a shot, just shoot the fucking puck. Make a save.
No shot's a bad shot.
I say that's my biggest thing in our league. Not that I'm a great player or a great coach. It's like, there's some guys out there who are decent enough and know the game, and they're trying to set it up. But when you're on a team that's mixed with beginners that don't necessarily, they're basically trying to stay on their feet. They're not necessarily thinking about setting up a play. It's like, just shoot it.
Just shoot it.
Make the guy make a save. Half the goalies in our league, once they drop down, they ain't getting up till the play's dead or till it goes to the other end.
Most of the goalies
get the rebound. Don't even try to make it.
Especially our goalie.
But you know what I mean? It's like, I tell my team all the time, like, just shoot the puck. Don't even care about scoring. Care about the rebound.
Yeah.
Whether it's your own rebound or somebody else getting your rebound, it's like, just make a mess in front of the net.
And that's what we had to tell the boys on Wednesday when you played for us last Wednesday.
Right. It's just
the same thing. It's just like, guys, like, you don't need to go snip. Just go far side leg pad. Let him kick it out.
Just be there.
Yeah.
And if you're not, and that's what I was telling the Catos who are just learning. I'm like, your guys' job right now, don't think about like, I want to be a better hockey player. Just be a pest.
Yeah.
If you see somebody and nobody's around them on your team, get in front of them. Just hit their stick.
Yeah.
Just be a pest. If you're in the offensive zone, stand in front of the goalie.
Exactly.
Just make a mess. Make it harder on them. Don't worry about your level of play at that moment.
Hey, Anna got a couple of really good shots last
That's
week,
what I'm saying. And that's like, the Sharks are at that point. Obviously, they could play in the Dirt League at this point, if you ask me. But it's like, they're not making enough of a mess in front of the net. You know what I mean? Like, they're barely getting any offensive pressure, and when they do get a chance,
soft.
They're trying to do too much.
Yeah.
It's like, just shoot the puck.
But I think a lot of it too is they're soft. They don't have enough sandpaper, and they're soft as baby shit right now.
They are, and I mean, I guess that comes when you're just getting throttled by everybody. But the confidence wanes. But I would rather have them just shoot the puck and have the guy make a save than try to make 3 passes in the zone and get no shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, take a bad shot from the point, take a whatever. Try to
very
get
much agreed, and that's what I used to hate about Anaheim.
Right.
Was that they would rush in on the rush. It'd be a 3-on-1, and they'd make 6 passes before they take a shot, and it's just like, okay, well, eventually this isn't going to either hit the net or it's going to be picked off by the one guy that you're leaving there. It's just like, just shoot the damn thing, guys.
Just shoot it.
It's like, you're in the NHL. You can shoot the puck.
Yeah. No. I mean, and Anyways, how are your Ducks doing?
My Ducks are actually doing really, really good.
I know, man. It's,
So remember I was saying Anaheim is here in terms of skill right now, but their ceiling is here. Man, have you seen the ceiling lately?
Yeah, they're. If you want to say that our team started at the same starting line at the beginning of the season,
I think so.
They are what could be, and the Sharks are what is.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Mackenzie Blackwood is still playing amazing.
Of course, but I mean that's aside from that. But like you guys, all your young guys that we talked about, Zegras, Vetrano, everybody is really.
So Z, Carlson, and Terry is line 1 for Anaheim, and they've been pretty quiet actually. But line 2 for Anaheim is Strome, Vetrano, and McTavish. I never thought I'd say that line was going to be great. Oh my God, they have like 2 or 3 points a game.
Yeah, it's and that's great because that allows that takes a lot of the pressure off those first line guys. You got a rookie up there, you got a guy who just signed a contract that everybody was bitching about before the season, and I think you already said, like, Vetrano, what a quietly great
Frank
pickup.
the Tank, baby.
And
2 Hatties already on the year.
Just doing what they can, man. And they are playing to the top of their potential right now. And I hope they keep it up because I'm kind of a bona fide Ducks expert at the moment because you
have to watch the game.
Not even that, dude. I just started a new career mode on NHL 24, and I was drafted by the Ducks.
Nice, that kid.
And I sim. I always because if I play, you know how you start in the WHL or whatever, and then you get how you perform in the playoffs, you get drafted or whatever. Right. I always sim that because if I play, I'm gonna get drafted first. And I know I like parity, so I always sim that just to see. I got drafted 62nd by the Ducks.
Oh, okay. Well.
And our first line is Zegras at center, Troy Terry, and then myself on the wing. And Troy Terry, second in goals in the whole league in my NHL. I mean, if this season has anything to show, if I'm like being like a future predictor right now, the Ducks are gonna sweep the Calgary Flames in the first round of the playoffs, dude.
Okay. You think Calgary makes it? Because
they're gonna have to sign me first for this all to happen.
Because Calgary looks awful right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying it's a long season. Me and my line mates have been really hashing it out. You know what I mean? Rookie year, I finished with 110 points. I mean,
no big deal.
That helps, I guess. But the real Ducks are definitely playing above, above what the expectations, I should say, not their potential, because they've got all the potential in the world.
They beat Adam Fantilli in Adam Fantilli's barn. They ended the Bruins win streak. They then go on and just absolutely kick the dicks out of Philadelphia. They tried like hell to give the game away, but they still scored 7 goals.
It's crazy.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of points. I don't know what that's like.
And then last night,
yeah,
they played Pittsburgh, go up. They were down 1, tied the game, and then they go up 1, and they would have gone up 3-1, but there was goaltender interference. The loosest definition of goaltender interference does not describe what happened there.
The ref's trying to knock him down a peg, dude. They don't want to see it.
It was so dumb. And Cronin, head coach Cronin, who is what I'm coming to find out, a bit of a hothead, just lights the ref up. Like, no, this is fucking stupid. You're stupid, and challenges it. And of course, it's like, what are you challenging goaltender interference? Like, the ref's not gonna not call that. Like, he made the call. You're not gonna get him to go back on it,
right?
But it's just like, no, you're gonna look at this. And it's like, either we got a goal or we're penalized. It's like, okay, whatever. So the ref comes back and says, yeah, it was goaltender interference, no goal. So Cronin's still giving them business. It's just like, giving it to him. And the ref says, you know what? No, that's unsportsmanlike conduct on you. My feelings get hurt.
What is this, baseball?
Dude, like,
come on,
dude, he threw him out.
Yeah,
like
that's weird.
when do you see a coach thrown out of a hockey game?
I don't know if I've ever seen it live.
I was very upset, and then at the very end of the game, the Ducks take a penalty, and with about 11 seconds left in the penalty, McTavish comes out the box, gets hit by Henrique, streaks down the way, and just goes bar south on Jari. The Ducks win.
All right. That's enough of your elation.
I'm happy.
I'm happy for you.
Great time.
All right. Well, my gardener's here. That means it's time to end the show.
Pretty much.
And I got to go back to my real life and go back to work. So thank you guys for tuning in. Support all the sponsors. Wear your neck guards. And most of all, enjoy your hockey.
Absolutely.